for what they do in court, and it is very few. And I was disciplined for what I did in court. And I won't go into the details of that now, but I don't consider it a badge of honor, but it is somewhat of a distinction because very few attorneys get in trouble for what they say and do. I'd like to. Brown County has really been good to me, and I'd like to kind of review for you what my life here in Brown County has been really, and a lot of it that I believe is important goes back to way before I even thought about becoming a lawyer. My father was in World War II. He was in the Army Air Corps. He was discharged in 1945. He had supported the family since he was 24, he had supported the family by writing for the pulp magazines. He was a writer of fiction, and if you check my dad online now, you will see that he has over 300, a bibliography of over 300 stories and novels that he wrote, and he was getting paid about 1/8 of a cent a word, so you know he wrote a lot. But the artistic community of Brown County was attractive to him when he got out of the service. Being in the service sort of disrupted his artistic flow of producing stories, although he did write one while he was in the service called The Pin That Killed Him. And I have yet to find that one, but I definitely want to read it. So they moved to Brown County, and that was in June of 1946. They bought the Witch House up here on State Road 135, which now belongs to the Mathers. It's the big log cabin with the thatched roof up there. They bought that for what was probably a song, but it was probably all the money they had too, and they moved in there, and my dad started writing. And I went to school in Brown County. I started school at a one-room school in Bean Blossom. And going to a one-room school is a great leg up for a student because you get grades 1 through 4 all at once. So school was very easy for me at that point, and I just got right through until I was a freshman in high school. And I became interested. Richard Poe's not here anymore, but I became very interested in automobiles, particularly Studebaker Hawks, and all I could really think about had wheels and gasoline and handlebars. I wanted a Harley pretty badly in those days, still do, never got one. And my parents made the decision which was a substantial sacrifice for them, to send me to school at University School in Bloomington. So I was in a class of 16 over at Helmsburg, and they were all great people, wonderful people. I loved my classmates, but it was not an environment that valued education that much. A lot of those 16 would drop out before graduation. So my parents put me into University High School over in Bloomington. I was surrounded by people who were children of professors, and they valued education. And that 3 years that I spent at university school made college a snap. I mean, I simply just changed to another building on the IU campus and started college. And I went straight through, and of course, I have to a little bit of history here. If you remember the Vietnam War, Brown County did not have a very large draft pool, and I had the lowest draft number. And so I had a college deferment, so I didn't dare stop going to school. I mean, I went to all the summer sessions and everything, so I got through college pretty well, and I also found that in summer session, the grades are a little easier. So when I went straight into law school, I didn't take a break at all, I just went straight into law school and went all through that very well. That was all good fortune. I have to credit my parents for the decision of moving to Brown County and making that sacrifice, sending me over to university school, which made the educational part of my career a picnic for me, really. And then I had the good fortune, very good fortune, again through the help of my parents, little bit of political help. I had the opportunity to clerk for a federal judge. I got to see some of the best trial lawyers in this state try cases. I got to learn what happens at a pretrial conference. My clients always ask me, by the way, what's going to happen at the pretrial conference? Well, I was told nothing. But I had that great piece of good luck. And then the next piece of good luck, and I think I have to take a little bit of credit here. I decided when I left working in the United States Attorney's Office to come here and start a practice in my hometown. And at that time, we did not have our separate court. This was part of a circuit joined with Johnson County, and we had a judge like on every third Thursday or something like. The magistrate would come over and sign a few continuances or whatever he had to do, maybe hear some kind of a boundary line dispute. Florence Bradley, Dick Spielman were the only two attorneys here in town. When I arrived, Tom Zig was here, and Tom had just like passed the bar about a month after I opened my office. So that was what the bar amounted to then in Brown County. But with the circuit court being created here and separated from Johnson County, I had the opportunity to run for prosecuting attorney. And in Brown County, as Judge Stewart knows, as Jim Oliver knows, as Ted knows, as Tom knows, as Andy knows, when you run for an office, you go door to door. Well, I did door-to-door campaigning. I did a lot with the late, great Dave Woods. I remember we called on the Beck's Grove Jamboree, which was kind of a... You remember that one? It was a little honky-tonk that was out in Beck's Grove, and it was controversial at the time because they weren't zoned for honky-tonks. I don't think any place in Van Buren Township had the right zoning for this business, but they were running it, and there was some beer being consumed in pickup trucks outside. And Dave Woods and I went there and we tried to solicit some votes, and next thing I know, Dave was up on the bandstand playing the drums. It was a great experience, but the best experience of my door-to-door campaigning was I was in Hamlin Township, and I went up this terrible driveway, and I went and knocked on this door, and this blonde lady came to the door and made it very clear that she didn't want any. Well, that blonde lady is now my wife. Her husband said, "Is he a Democrat or a Republican?" And as those of you who've run for office know, in Brown County, that's sometimes a tough question to answer. And so you can use a little bit of, what do we call, alternative facts. You can say, "I'm running on the Republican ticket." Okay? Well, her husband said, "Invite him in." His mistake. Carol and I became friends. She's been my helpmate now for 25 years. And that is one of those great things that's happened.
35.
35. Depends on what you count, okay? We have been married for 25 years. So that was another stroke of luck. Being elected that year and serving as prosecuting attorney and then stealing the election. Bill Keaton may be aware of how I stole the election, but the Indiana legislature, and Jim Oliver may be aware of this, was lobbied very heavily by the Prosecuting Attorneys Council, in which he now works, and you are chief criminal, right? Okay. Criminal chief. Anyway, they were very strong lobbyists. They had a strong lobby, they still do. Unfortunately for the public defenders here in the audience. They had lobbied that all prosecuting attorneys had to run at the same year. And since this court had been created on an odd year, I had been elected for a 4-year term, but they passed a law that said I had to run again in 2 years. Well, Bill Keaton was working with the Prosecuting Attorneys Council at that time, and he gave me a call and said, "Hey, Jim, you're going to have to run again." I said, "No, I'm not. I just got elected." He said, "No, you got to run again." Well, anyway, so I filed in the absolute last second. No one opposed me.
I took your papers.
You took, that's right. Debbie, and did we get you a police escort?
No.
Too bad.
But we worked on it.
That's right. Well, you were a cop anyway. It didn't matter. So anyway, that was good fortune. I stole the election, and I had another 4 years to serve. So I served, I think, 6 years and 2 months. I had the opportunity, and this is my last stroke of good luck, because a good career, and I've had a good career involves a lot of good luck. And my last stroke of good luck was getting to work with Ted. Ted was good enough to put up with me in the office for 2 years. He was a wonderful lawyer to work with. We shared a lot of puns. I'm trying to think of one of those famous ones, but the one involving the gag order, but I'm not going to tell it. Okay. And we had a great time. We tried some good cases, and I just want to thank Ted for giving me that opportunity, which allowed me to vest in the prosecuting attorney's retirement program. I got my first retirement check. Now I've gotten 2. Carol's keeping track of them. I wonder where they went. So, off to retirement. I guess we started to call this a retirement party because no one thought I would ever get another job. But then the town was good enough to hire me as town attorney, so I have some employment. I don't really have an office, but I have a little space in town that I call my world headquarters. Carol and my good friend Andy Clemens did a lot of work remodeling what used to be Wanda Jones' law office, and I would invite each and every one of you to stop in and say hi. And I see Terry Corden just came in. Terry. And Kitty Corden. I have a story to tell on Terry Corden. Terry is one of those guys. He was starting his practice about the same time I did. He was like welfare attorney, OCS attorney, something like that, and we were trying a paternity case in which, and of course in those days, paternity was pretty much a matter of opinion, right? We used to say maternity is a question of matter of fact, paternity is a statement of opinion. And we didn't have DNA, we didn't have anything like that, so we had to go by what the parties did, and it's obviously that they had done something because there was a nice, cute little baby involved. And apparently, I can't remember whether I was the proponent or Terry was the proponent, but my client, or his client, I believe it was his client, had made a statement that that's my baby. That he made it while he was drinking in like the Pine Room Tavern or something like that. So I got up and I pulled out my best law school Latin and said, "In vino veritas est." In wine there is truth, Your Honor. And Terry got up in response and says, "I don't know if it works for beer or not." Hey, thank you all very much. Thank you for this wonderful life that I've had here in Brown County. You know, these kind of ceremonies are usually done posthumously after a lawyer has passed that final bar, and I much prefer this. Thank you.